By 2003, the beat-em-up genre was all but finished thanks to 2D fighting games. More and more gamers wanted to play the latest Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat game, and once the 3D fighters like Virtua Fighter, Soul Calibur, and Tekken got rolling, you could kiss the old belt scroller goodbye. The mid-90s was a weird time for Double Dragon, and went into this weird phase of doing team-ups with Toads and doing their own version of Street Fighter, twice. So when Million, formerly Technos, re-entered the beat-em-up genre, who would have guessed that they would have turned their sights on the newly released Game Boy Advance? Double Dragon Advance is a different take on the beginnings of the Lee brothers' martial arts odyssey. It pulls from the best some of its past parts and adds some new bits to really be in the talks as one of the best in the series, and that's including the first 2 arcade games. Either way, sit back and relax as I take you through a martial art epic, one that pays homage to the very roots of the belt scroller while showing us this old dog still has some tricks left.
Okay, USA.
The tale of our twin martial art masters is set in a post-apocalyptic world where we take control of Billy Lee, who along with his brother Jimmy, are out to fight a rival gang called the Shadow Warriors. These guys are bad to the bone and have kidnapped Billy's girlfriend Marion in exchange for the scrolls of Susetsu Ken, an ancient form of martial art that the Lee brothers have mastered. While I've owned this game for almost 10 years now, I'm kind of ashamed to say it took me this review to finally beat it. Not because of an unwillingness to, but rather, it was on my backlog of games to finish. And boy, am I glad I did. My experiences with Double Dragon Advance is an incredibly positive one, with only a few minor gripes. At this point I want to mention the array of moves both Billy and Jimmy can use, and trust me, you won't want to mess around with these guys in a dark alley. The game boasts the most moves you can execute in almost any beat-em-up available at the time. Your move list is well past a 25 count. And that's not including the fact that you can run, duck, block, and parry. The moves all feel solid whether you're punching, kicking, or using some other move to knock the crap out of your opponent. The popular Dragon Spin Kick is here, but with much less airtime. And let's not forget the Hyper Knee and Uppercut from the second game. While their power has been greatly reduced, they can now set up air juggles, which is a ton of fun to do and looks cool as all hell. Lastly, the parry system is back from Super Double Dragon, although it's scaled way back. Timing your parry just right, you'll send your foe flying into the air with an auto throw. Overall, there's a ton of moves and combos to use, so you have a lot of variety on your hands here. The Shadow Warriors are all here and must have been in a recruiting phase. Our old friends the Williams, Ropers, and Abobos are here, straight up homages to the characters from Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon. The Lindas are back and are packing big hair and whips. Could the Lindas be a nod toward the Lizzie gang from the Warriors? You decide.
Shit, the chicks are packed! The chicks are packed!
One baddie I didn't see coming are the business suit wearing enemies from Super Double Dragon. They can be a headache when confronted in larger groups, but their rapid fire punches and blocking capabilities are no joke, so take special care around them. Burnoff is here too, the giant that vanishes only to return again is another surprise I didn't see coming that fits really well into the Shadow Warriors. And what's a Double Dragon game without the weapons? And the advanced version doesn't skimp out either. Like the plethora of armaments our foes would drop in the arcade version, advanced can get quite congested with options. At your disposal are your more standard fare of knives, bats, and whips. But axes, Kali sticks, morning stars, nunchucks, and more are available too. You can even throw some of these weapons around, which makes the axe incredibly lethal and a lot of fun to use. But by far the two standouts are the nunchucks and the Kali sticks. You can get your Bruce Lee on with the chucks, as they have good range and speed. The Kali sticks can lay waste to a whole group of enemies easily. This Philippines discipline is excellent and can cut swaths through your enemies very quickly. So, I feel I should mention some of my gripes. These may sound nitpicky, so bear with me. Stage 4, the truck mission, had me nearly rage quit when I lost a few lives to the suit assassins. There's so many of them in this stage that if you get surrounded, they sap away your health so fast it's freaking unreal. While the truck area was bad, nothing compared to the hell that was Stage 6, the Caverns. The close quarters combat around the underground river of death took a few more extra lives and continues that I care to admit. Like its NES counterpart, you do have to do a little bit of platforming here, but when you have guys waiting for you on the other side to knock you back into a watery grave, I say screw that. Putting that aside, the music is just outstanding. Double Dragon is widely known as having outstanding tracks, and the remixes of classic Double Dragon music is always a treat to listen to. I especially like the Abobo's theme. In between stages, the story folds out with nice looking cutscenes. And I always love the designs of these characters in Double Dragon Advance. And we usually see the boss characters we just defeated the stage prior all messed up looking. Now there are a few modes at play here too. Aside from the standard single player game called Dragon Mode, you get a 2-player co-op game as well as a survival mode to see how many enemies you can kill before your energy runs out. But I usually use this place as like a training ground. Lastly is the incredibly odd Double Dragon mode. It's a single player game where you play as both Billy and Jimmy. You use the select button to switch between the brothers, and it's really weird and I stay away from it. And sadly, that's it. We never got a Double Dragon Advance 2 or 3. I was always disappointed the series never continued on the handhelds, as I thought this was a perfect way to continue the story of the Lee brothers. While a few more entries would trickle out over the years, they paled in comparison to the greatness that is the GBA game. Double Dragon Advance has lots of variety in both stage layouts, enemies to fight, tons of moves at your fingertips, and a slew of weapons to dispense your brand of dragon justice. If you can find it cheap, don't miss out and grab this entry, as I truly think that this is the best Double Dragon game. I'm Will, thanks for watching, and for those about the retro, we salute you. Take care!